Hi, our special guest today is Ken McLaughlin, broker owner and broker of record of REMAX Hallmark Realty Limited. Welcome, Ken.
Hey, Tom. It's fantastic to be here.
So today we're going to talk about the new Competition Bureau Act and how that's affecting realtors in the business, and the concept of a mere posting, etc. Okay, so now we've ensured that we've got the buyer contract signed.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready to make a phone call to the seller directly.
Yeah.
What's the process I should be using, and how do I protect myself?
Good question. So what you do, if you see these mirror posting listings and you want to show it, you need to notify, you've been given permission to contact the seller directly already. Okay? So you need to pick up the phone. Sometimes it's by email. Good luck getting a hold of them, because they're not always easy to get a hold of. But I know of agents that spend 3 days or 4 days trying to get a hold of these sellers. Let's assume you get a hold of them at that point. You need to establish the agency relationship at that time. And the agency relationship you establish is of a customer service, not of client service. So there's forms that we have that people will bring to them. They establish customer service, and at that point, if you are asking them for 3%, 2.5%, or 4% commission in order to show it, that's when you establish it at that time, prior to showing the property.
Okay, so you'd say, okay, Mr. Seller, before I show your property, I want you to know I'm representing the seller, and I need you to sign.
Representing the buyer.
Representing the buyer, sorry.
Yeah.
And I need to send you this form for you to sign.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay?
You need to sign this form.
So you email it, fax it off, whatever the case may be.
Or drop it off.
Or drop it off.
Yeah.
And so now...
And by the way, I'm working for 4% or 3% or whatever it is.
Right.
Or 2.5%.
Okay. So now... let's do the easy way. So the seller says, okay, fine, I'll pay the X%, whatever you've agreed on.
Yeah.
Now what?
You just show the property. You have consensus from your buyer. Then you do your homework with the buyer, your CMA, and everything else on that. And you prepare an offer. You register the offer with the seller, not with the agent, because the agent that has it listed has given you permission to do it.
They're out of it, right?
You're out of it completely. So you go directly to the seller. You register the offer. In some cases, the seller might say that he wants to deal with his lawyer. That obviously that's okay. You present the offer. You present it normally. You just negotiate directly with the seller on the case. You do not represent the seller, though. You've already made it clear that he's a customer of yours. You made him aware of what that means, or her aware of what that means, and you present the offer. And you're working for the buyer. That's your job to do it.
Okay, so now let's assume we do finally come to an agreement on price, and now I've got a $20,000 deposit with the offer. Where does that deposit
now, what
go?
we coach
Should it go to the seller?
No, absolutely not. Don't go to the seller. We train our people, our agents, and coach them on putting the deposit in REMAX Hallmark's account. Okay, so we have the deposit of $20,000 held in trust by REMAX Hallmark. So we would negotiate that and keep that in our trust account at that time.
And Mr. Seller says, no, I want the deposit. So where's the compromise?
It's negotiation. You negotiate. You can actually do, some agents have done, they put, if it's a $25,000 deposit, they say, we'll put $12,500 in the seller's solicitor's trust account and $12,500 in REMAX Hallmark's trust account.
And that covers that X%, whatever was agreed upon,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely, on that.
But under no circumstances should you give it to the seller directly.
Absolutely not. Never.
So the only alternatives are
seller's
REMAX
solicitor
Hallmark
in trust or REMAX Hallmark in trust,
okay.
Preferably in our trust account.
Okay, great. Okay, so now we've got all the negotiations done. So really, that's it. So
that's it.
Is there just that one form that the seller needs to sign?
It's all the form, plus the offer, of course. But that's the only form that he needs, or she needs to sign at that point.
So
now, when the deal
working for a realtor, with a realtor form doesn't need to be
nothing
signed.
at all. There's a form. There's a customer relation form that's been produced by the Toronto Real Estate Board that it's self-explanatory. The seller signs it at that point. Okay. And certainly, if the seller wants to run that by their lawyer, no problem.
Okay,
at that.
Just to reiterate, these forms need to be signed before the showing.
Absolutely, before the showing is done. Okay. You need to establish agency relationship before you actually enter into the relationship.
Fantastic. Okay, so now people are going to say, well, is this going to wreck our business? Because this is totally out of the comfort zone for many people, and most of us haven't dealt with the seller directly because it's actually against the rules.
Absolutely.
Right?
We've never had the opportunity to deal directly. I've often heard agents complain, co-op agents complain that the listing agent is actually getting in the way. of the deal. The listing agent isn't helping with the deal. I don't mean helping by making a deal go through, but they're not negotiating in good faith at that point. Now, agencies, mere listings are giving permission for good co-op brokers to go directly to the seller. So that's going to offer a great opportunity for great agents to get the job done efficiently and effectively for their buyers. Now, that's at a fair price. I don't think you will have people taking advantage of sellers on this, but you will have people that will purely represent their buyers, which we do in this case as a co-op broker. So it's a huge disadvantage for a seller on that point, because they don't have representation. They're not paying for it.
Let's say it's a good buyer agent who's had lots of experience in the marketplace versus a seller who sells maybe 1, 2, 3 properties in their lifetime. Who's a better negotiator?
It's no contest. It's really no contest.
So really,
at all.
Is this an opportunity for a realtor or the end of our industry as we know it?
I think it's a tremendous opportunity for this industry that we know right now. I think it's an opportunity for people that are very good at what they're doing to get even better at it. There's more opportunities out there. You know, if you look at it this way, Tom, you're a buyer rep that works really hard at what they do. They're efficient, they're effective, they do a great job for their clients. All of a sudden they have these mere posting listings that are up there, and you're given permission to deal with them. You have an opportunity to negotiate the best skills you have and to work it the best way you can for your buyer. So it's a great opportunity to go in there and do the work. And it's also a great opportunity. I've heard this from so many of our buyer reps that they've done this, they've dealt with mere postings, and all of a sudden the buyer or the sellers that they're presenting these offers to, they're seeing how great these buyer reps are. They're asking them to represent them for their purchases. So not only are they selling a house for their buyer, helping them buy a property to a customer, the vendor, the seller, they're actually picking up a new buyer because their work is so good going out to sell things. So the opportunity is endless that they can do. Where we're going to have a problem for this industry are people that are not on their game. By people, I mean real estate agents that are not on the game of adding value to what they're doing, that aren't professional, that are not delivering service for what they're getting paid for. That game is over. If they're not working at this craft that we all love and getting better at it, it's going to be a tough haul for them. They have nothing to sell. There's no value to what they do. And frankly, I don't have a big problem with that. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I think it's a good thing for our industry. It will purge some people that aren't great at it. It will make the people that are great at it or good at it even better at what they're doing out there. So all in all, I think it's a fantastic opportunity for us at this time.
Great. So thanks very much, Ken, for this great information.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you again.
Great, Tom. Thank you.